Hello, I'm Kevin Durth, Superintendent of the Maple Run Unified School District, which includes BFA St. Albans, Northwest Career and Technical Center, Fairfield Center School, St. Albans Town Educational Center, St. Albans City School, and Collins Pearly Sports Complex. Last week, I shared with you a general update about the state of Vermont guidelines for reopening schools. I also shared information on where you can find the family survey. I know you've been eager for answers about what your child's routines will look like when school begins at the end of August. We know how important it is that students and teachers return to school this fall. We also realize that families have various needs and concerns. Our family survey results are still coming in, and at this point, the initial results reflect 1/3 of families plan to send their child to school, another 1/3 will stay home, and the final 1/3 of families need more information to make a decision. Since the survey was sent, there have been some decisions made by both the state, school districts in our region, and locally within our school district. What you're seeing now is a visual of the hybrid schedule. There will be two groups of students, a blue group and a green group, trying to use some of our school colors within our school district. If we take the blue group, on Monday and Tuesday, you see a school icon. That means that on Monday and Tuesday, they will be coming to school for person-to-person instruction. On Wednesday, they'll be off for deep cleaning of our buildings, and we'll be doing other things during that time around staff planning, professional development, etc. Then Thursday and Friday for the blue group, there'll be remote learning at home. The green group is just the opposite. Remote learning on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, while there might be some remote learning at home, nobody will be in the building. And then Thursday and Friday, the green group will have school, person-to-person contact. During hybrid learning, students and staff attending in person will wear masks and practice physical distancing. Groups will be thoughtfully created so they best support families, including grouping family members from pre-K through high school whenever possible. For families who choose 100% remote learning, we are continuing to improve our remote systems. We learned a lot during the last 3 months and are in discussions around the many areas that worked well and should be continued, and areas that were less successful and need to be reviewed. In these pandemic conditions, we also know that we need to be ready to adapt if health data requires a shift to full remote learning again. In the next few weeks, our priority is to share an overview of the implementation plans for both learning choices so that your family has enough information to help make an informed decision as to whether your children start school in a hybrid learning environment or in a remote learning only setting. In addition to the two learning options, I wanted to share with you the status updates of other areas critical to school operations that have come down by the state. You can find these guidelines in Strong and Healthy Start guidelines. So for the opening of school, MRUSD will open at step 2 per the state guidelines. Daily schedule, hybrid learning schedule has been determined for step 2 reopening per the state. Remote learning only is also an option instead of hybrid learning. We know that there are going to be social and emotional needs when students come back. Schools are working closely with the community to identify supportive learning needs and environments for both staff and students. Transportation, we will open at step 3 per the state of Vermont guidelines. And that is required. As for health screenings, each school will have a process in place for staff and students at the first point of contact, whether that be at the bus or at the front of the school. We will have a process in place to ensure that all students are screened. In cases of COVID-19 and the need for contact tracing, schools will follow the guidance set forth by the state. Masks are required. All students and staff are required to wear masks. Students can wear their own, or we'll provide one for them. In addition, it's required that we have physical distancing, and we use the 6-foot rule, that students, as much as possible, will stay 6 feet from each other while in school. Meals will be available and served in classrooms, and there are many more details that will come with this in the future. Relative to our specials, like physical education, music lessons, theater, activities will continue with modifications in accordance to the state guidelines. That's also true for extracurricular and co-curricular activities. Cleaning, disinfecting, and ventilation, we are going to aggressively follow the state guidelines and all the measures that come with that. We'll keep you updated as changes occur to our school operations. Last week, we sent an online survey to our Maple Run families. We will tabulate and analyze the results and plan to share them with you next week. The last topic is about communications. First, this video and others can be found on the MRUSD Outreach YouTube channel. If you have comments or questions, please visit our site by going to maplerun.org and click on the COVID-19 resources. You can also send an email to covid19@maplerun.org or leave a message at 802-370-3966. Please note that the dedicated telephone number will only receive messages. There's not a live person answering the call. However, we do have a team of personnel monitoring the emails and voicemails. We know more than ever that this is a stressful time in everyone's lives. I want you to be assured that our team of educators and community members are all committed to planning that is student-centered, focused on the social, emotional, and physical health and safety of our students and staff, and designed to keep our students learning at a high level. We'll continue to stay in contact and ask for your thoughts and ideas as we quickly approach the start of the year. As mentioned earlier, our priority is to share an overview of the implementation plans for both learning choices in the next 2 weeks, so that you can begin planning for the start of school. Thank you, and be well. Goodbye.